Okay, so this video is probably going to make a few people upset. I hope it doesn't, because it comes from a very sincere place. But there's a lot of movements going on these days. You know, you got the feminist movement, all that, and one of them is the body acceptance movement. You know, you got people like Tess Holliday and that, which, quite frankly, I do not consider her inspirational in the slightest. And this movement, the way it's being practiced, concerns me at a very deep, like, sincere level, like very sincerely, not in an immature way. You know, like you see most people who are just being like, you know, fucking idiots, um, attacking these people. But and I understand why it's being practiced the way it is, because it's trying to fight guys basically being pricks, saying that a girl isn't worthy of them because of their look, and it's all, everyone's dealing with it on a very superficial level, whereas I'm thinking about it in a very on a deep level. You know, it's a lot deeper. I understand it. You know, believe me, I'm the first one to understand where like the girls are coming from with how they feel. Like they feel horrible because, you know, like my whole life I've had this weird, like, a bit, you know, it's cool, like, you know, I'm empathetic. Like I can, if I can make eye contact with you and we make eye contact and I look into your eyes, I can pretty much just, no matter what you tell me, I can just tell what's really going on. You know, I've even written like a little saying like that. It's like, deep within the eyes lies a rebellious truth awaiting the taste of lips freedom. And because I really think that if you look deep into someone's eyes, the eyes, you know, won't lie. Their facial expression might be a smile, but a lot of people, I see anyway, you look into their eyes and it's horrible. And it's even happened so much to one point where one time it happened, I just broke down in tears because, like, you know, I was looking into the eyes of someone I loved, and then, you know, I just saw all the pain. I could just see all the hate they had for themselves, and it literally just made me like cry on the spot. But you know, it concerns me, and because of where I am, the amount of self love that I've cultivated, um, I'm at a point where I can't sugarcoat it. We've got all these sugar-coated shit ideas that people are eating and embodying, and they're very superficial. You know, like, I'm not gonna, if you tell me you don't like the way you look, I'm not gonna tell you, hey, you shouldn't change, because a lot of what we've got is we've got a lot of enablers and a lot of people using the body acceptance thing at an intellectual level. You know, because we live in an intellectualist, you know, age. And what they're doing is they're trying to, one, avoid participating in their own health. Two, when someone says, I'm overweight, I want to lose 20 pounds, their friends say, no, you shouldn't do that. You're beautiful just the way you are, and that sort of thing. To me, I see that as enabling, because what happens these days is whenever anyone wants to step outside of the norm or do something better for themselves, you know, like lose 20 pounds and look in the mirror and feel good, people unconsciously try to hold them back, because when someone steps outside of the norm and does something for themselves, it reflects on that person, on the people around them, and it makes them realize, shit, I'm responsible. So that's why I don't like it. You know, you've got a lot of people thinking they're encouraging, but unconsciously they're just trying to hold people back. My mind's just racing. I'm trying to figure out how to put this all into words. So when I hear something like that, I'm like, great, let's do it. Because, and they're trying to avoid taking responsibility for their health. So when they say things, you know, I'm beautiful just the way you are, they're justifying bad eating habits. And like I said, I understand, because they're trying to fight like misogynist pigs. But, and the reason that they enable is because you can't love anyone more than you love yourself. So if someone hates themselves, they won't really know how to help someone else evolve. Man, this is harder than I thought. I've been rehearsing this in my head for days. It's really been bothering me. And the problem I have with the body acceptance movement is that it's actually not even accepting the body. It's accepting an idea about the body. It's all intellectual. It's accepting an idea about how a body should look. It's accepting an idea about how what's beautiful and what's not. And my problem is everyone's neglecting the body itself. If you can think of the human being as a flower, and the intellect and ideas are in the realm of thought, so they're not really accepting, they're accepting something in the realm of thought, which for all intents and purposes isn't rooted in the body. So when people think like that, it's almost like having a flower without no roots in the soil holding it up, and that's what we are. So if you think of there's the head here, but there's all this, and this is the roots. And even if you look at a photo of the peripheral nervous system, it looks like roots. And so the intellectual brain and our ability to like perceive and whatnot is like a flowering of the body. So my problem is when people think like that, they're really neglecting it. They don't actually, they're not accepting the body, because the body is primarily cells. You got 100 trillion cells in the human body that comprise it, and then what are those, and then those cells make up organs, glands, muscles, skin, and then you've got systems. So you've got all the systems in your body, and what people aren't accepting the cells. They're not accepting their organs. They're not accepting their systems. They're not accepting the responsibility for those things, because cells need nutrition and water. And what do people drink? They're drinking V. They're drinking Monster. They're drinking Coke. They're not even drinking real water. It's fluoridated and full of chlorine and antibiotics and medical drugs that are in the water supply, pesticides that are being run off farms, and they're not nourishing their cells. They're not even eating real food. You're eating fast food, McDonald's, packaged, enzymatically dead crap, pesticide-laden foods that chronically activating their immune system and all that sort of stuff. So the cells themselves aren't even getting the nutrition they need. And if your cells aren't healthy, how could you be healthy? That's the body. What I want is people to accept the responsibility of having a body, which means accepting the responsibility to look after your cells, which in turn looks after your bones, your organs, your blood, your glands, which in turn, is looking after your systems. What people are doing is they're accepting ideas. And, I have a problem with that. And it makes me very angry, because it's like I'm rooting for the guy everyone's forgetting about, the body. The body does so many beautiful things. I genuinely believe that. Who's beating your heart? When you eat, even if you're eating crappy food, who's trying to digest that? It's the body. Who replaces your cells? Who's pumping blood? You're breathing while you're sleeping. It breathes for you. It does all these things, and people think they have like some useless meat suit it just gets fat for no reason. And a lot of people, going back to the analogy of a flower can grow strong or it can wither among the elements, and that all depends on the health of the roots of the soil. Study organic farming. You can find, but you see a lot of people, you can have a fat, sick, unhealthy looking body, or you can have a good looking body, and a lot of people are going to take that the wrong way. And because I don't want this to be just about overweight people. I want this, because a lot of skinny people neglect their body in the same way. They're eating shit food. They're not taking care of themselves. Fit people, not synonymous with health at all. Just because someone's got biceps and lifts a lot and runs does not mean they're healthy. Just because they're lean and they got muscle does not mean they're healthy. I don't want anyone to use that excuse for me. You see, like I said, a flower can be healthy or it can be unhealthy depending on how you treat it. When a flower doesn't grow, you don't change the flower, you change the environment it's growing in. And the environment it's growing in for people is what they eat, how they treat their cells, their body. So yeah, whenever, like, I can't sugarcoat these things. So I'll tell you how it is. If you want to lose weight, I'll go, brilliant. I'll help you do that. It really makes me angry because I love health so much. So it makes me angry when I see people masquerading behind pseudo acceptance of their body when they're not even accepting the body. They're accepting an idea, a concept about their body. You know, because I really couldn't care how you look. Couldn't care less. It just so happens that when you're genuinely healthy, you don't look like shit. It's that simple. And, you know, people like Tess Holliday, like, she's pregnant, and she, you know, posting videos and stuff of her eating shit to try and give them finger to her haters. I'm so concerned for that baby. Read this book. If you read this book and you still aren't concerned for her baby, I don't know what will make you concerned. Within one generation of eating shitty foods that aren't organic, that are processed, they show craniofacial distortions and a decreased resistance to disease and all sorts of things. So this is why it concerns me. It's very wholehearted. It's not from a superficial perspective. It's very deep. And, you know, what I'm trying to do is what I've always been doing since I started working out was progressively learning to accept the responsibility of my cells, of my glands, organs, skin, muscles, and of all my systems. Progressively learning to accept it. I don't consider myself the embodiment of health, but that's what I want. I want people we don't need a body acceptance movement, we need a body responsibility movement. That's the main thing I want to get out in this video. So, you know, try not to hate and think I'm being some stupid pig. I'm genuinely concerned. It's kept me up at night thinking about how dysfunctional the world is, and all it is awareness. You need the knowledge. People don't think that they can lose the weight because, I mean, and a lot of people, they think they can't lose the weight, so that's why they create these psychological programmings to try and deal with it, like body acceptance. Beauty's on the inside. I'm sorry, but quite frankly, if you looked at your insides, they would not be beautiful at all. And if you ask me, a good personality is someone with integrity and enough character to respect the body that they're given, to feed it real organic food, real water, to hang around good people, to think good thoughts, to, you know, progressively change the environment so that they can flower themselves. And that's what I want to do. I want to. That's my thing. You know, everyone's got, just like I said, a flower's got the potential to be healthy and vital and blossom very well, or it's got the potential to be sick and wither amongst the elements and be just blown away. I think I said everything I want to say, but yeah, that's why the body acceptance movement is genuinely concerning to me. I was originally going to do a very angry video, but I thought about it, I meditated, and I realized that's not the best approach, and it's not really who I am. You know, obviously I get angry, I get passionate, but, you know, I thought this would be a better approach to take. Yeah, in summary, we don't need a body acceptance movement. Not the way it's being practiced right now. It's a body avoidance movement. It's avoiding the responsibilities of your body, of your physiology, your biology, of your cells. We're not even giving our cells enough nutrition to have any structure. So how the hell are we accepting our body? That's what I really don't understand. How are we accepting the body? people don't even know what the body is. They're not in touch with it. They're so far into intellectualism, and it's not all our fault because we're programmed into intellectualism through materialist science, materialist mindset. This idea that the body's just stupid, disgusting, and primitive. But just think for a moment. What grows a baby? It's not you. You don't actively go, I'm going to grow a baby. You don't actively replace your cells. You don't actively digest your food. You don't consciously beat your heart. You don't consciously breathe while you're asleep. It's called the autonomic nervous system. It's doing all these things for you. I literally look at my body, and I have for a while, as it's 50-50. There's my ego and there's my body, and I communicate with it. I have a relationship with it. What do you need? I remember when I couldn't afford organic food. I was just getting into organic food, and I was figuring out how to make it sustainable and whatnot. And I would literally at meals, I would openly just say to myself, look, I know this isn't what you need, but I love you and I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it for you. This is just temporary. And it's not uncommon for me to literally it sounds nuts, but that's just, I have such a healthy relationship with myself. That's what I'll do. It's not uncommon for me to just give myself just kiss my body. It sounds so foo-foo and girly, but I have so much respect wholeheartedly for it. So because I love myself that much, that love runs over into other people, and we've got all these people who are so so low in awareness that they can't actually lend a helping hand to others because it's laced with their dysfunction and their prejudices and their own programs of avoidance. And a lot of people are going to say, well, I'm healthy. There are a lot of healthy people who are just overweight from genetic issues. Genetics plays about a 5 to 10% role in diseases and obesity and all that. And the standard of health has come so low that what's considered healthy is so far from health. And that's why we've got all this pathology and misunderstanding. And what I want to do is to make what real health is aware. I want to make people aware of what real health is and be a living example of it. That way we get people healthy and happy, and they look in the mirror and they see a good looking physique that's not just a physique. It's a they have life in their eyes. There's not sadness in there when you look in their eyes. There's happiness, there's vitality, they smile, they move, they look after their body, they talk to it, they give it a hug, things like that. I don't know, I've started rambling. But just try your best to watch this video objectively, try not to just be prejudiced and whatnot. And, if you like this, if you agree with me and you have someone that you feel needs to hear this so that they can start to really respect their body, share it on Facebook, just get this message out there, because it's not from superficial shaming. A lot of people think I'm shaming them. It's not. I'm just so genuinely concerned and genuinely passionate about health that I hate to see people playing games with themselves, bullshitting themselves, and masquerading behind false ideas of body acceptance, which is actually just intellectualism imposing itself on the body as a defense mechanism against societal expectations, which is understandable. But yeah, that's it. See you in the next video. Remember, take responsibility, accept the responsibility of the body. That way we can start practicing real body acceptance instead of idea acceptance.